Hello, welcome to this lecture where I'm going to give you an overview of the 4 different editions of FL Studio. I'm also going to show you about the edition selection wizard and help you understand which version may be most suitable for you. If you've already decided which version of FL Studio you're going to use, you may consider skipping this lecture. If not though, I recommend watching it. So the 4 versions are Fruity, Producer, Signature and All Plugins Bundle. They do come at a different price point and of course they do have a few different features. FL Studio 20 is now available for both Mac and Windows, and you can purchase either of these 4 editions in either Mac or Windows. However, I don't recommend getting Fruity, the first edition, because for this you can't actually drag or drop audio samples and you can't actually record audio with this Fruity edition. So some of the things we're going to go over in this course, you might not be able to follow along with Fruity, but you will be able to follow most of this with the Producer version and all of this with the Signature or All Plugins bundle. The interface and layout is very similar from Fruity all the way to All Plugins bundle. It just doesn't have as many features or instruments or effects. If you do have Fruity, you'll still be able to take a lot of key essential things from this course, but there will be parts that you might not be able to follow along with. So if you haven't purchased FL Studio yet, I do recommend, if you can, either getting Producer or Signature. But if you want all of the plugins, you can get the All Plugins bundle, but you can always get one of the versions and update later on. In terms of the best value for money, it's probably going to be Producer, as you do get a lot of the essential things, and it's not too expensive compared to Signature or the All Plugins bundle. As you can see on this website here, we have a comparison chart between the 4 different editions. So if we scroll down on this site, we can see that Fruity and Producer do have the majority of the features, but there are some important things such as the Edison audio editor and recorder that don't come with Fruity. So if you go on ImageLine's website, you will be able to find this comparison. Personally, I use the Signature bundle and it has more than what I need for creating and mixing music in FL Studio. However, if you do want all of the plugins, you can get the All Plugins bundle, but it does cost quite a lot more compared to the other editions of FL Studio. In this course, I'm also going to be using a Mac. However, the interface is pretty much identical to that of Windows. As ImageLine have only recently made FL Studio available for Mac, there are some features that are missing on the Mac version. You can see here on this site, there is a button you can press called Windows versus Mac OS. And on this site, we compare the difference between Windows and Mac for FL Studio. For example, there may not be as many features for Mac, but there are some that ImageLine are working on to update for Mac. And you can see this by where it says To Do. So at the top of the page here, you can see Edition Selection Wizard. And this will ask you a few questions to help you decide which version of FL Studio may be suitable for you. So for example here, it will ask you a question about if you want to be able to record audio. When I have a digital audio workstation, I will want to record audio, but it depends on what you want FL Studio for. Do you want it just for loops, or do you want to record audio with it also? So if you hit yes, which I do recommend, it will take you not to the Fruity version. And then you may get a question asking if you need any additional plugins. So this could be stuff like extra synths, effects, or even a video player. For some people, you may want this, others perhaps not. So you can just go through this selection wizard, and then ImageLine will suggest which version may be suitable for you. You can always upgrade from one version to another, so don't worry if you don't want to get the All Plugins version straight away, you could always upgrade to that in the future. Also remember, whatever version of FL Studio you purchase, you will have lifetime updates. So whenever the new update comes out, you won't be charged for that. Other DAWs or pieces of software may charge you for updates, but luckily FL Studio doesn't. Okay, so that's just a quick overview of the 4 different editions of FL Studio. I hope you found this useful and you know which version of FL Studio will be most suitable for you if you haven't already purchased this software. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next lecture.